Morning, everyone. Today is February the 25th, 2016. Today we're reading Book 6 from the Cheon Seong Gyeong, The True Creation, Chapter 4, A Vision for Nature and the Ocean. Subtopic, The Ocean Has Unlimited Resources, 19. We should love the ocean. We need to pioneer it. We cannot afford to ignore the ocean. It covers an area about 3 times the area of land. Who do you think is going to develop the resources that can be found at the bottom of the ocean? We can find oil, black gold on the land, but in the ocean is 3 times larger. So we can expect to find perhaps 3 times more oil under the ocean. So far, this has not been sufficiently developed. But from this point on, we need to increase our ability to tap these ocean resources. Number 20. Water has no one expression. It takes on the exact form of the container and fills it completely, so it can have a myriad of shapes. In a small container is very small. In a big tank, it becomes huge. In a house, it can fill the whole house. The huge oceans are some of its faces. The Pacific and the Indian Ocean are faces of water. Water has so many shapes. Most of the treasures on planet Earth can be found at the bottom of the ocean. I am very interested in this part of the world. I don't want what others have already touched. All the treasures at the bottom of the sea can be mined. Their quality or quantity is huge. We have developed technologies that permit tunneling even tens of kilometers under the ocean floor, from an island to in any direction. Conquering the ocean is important work. 21. Where can we find a solution to the problem of world hunger? The ocean that covers about 75% of the planet Earth are a treasure trove of natural resources. The ocean has an abundance of valuable resources that promise a bright future for all human beings who are suffering from the lack of resources and dying from various kinds of pollution. 22. The vast resources of the ocean are much greater than those on land. When we consider the issue of fuel, the time of using oil, gas, and electricity will soon pass. Electricity has its limits. Now the remaining source of energy supply is nothing other than the ocean. There will be no other path to develop hydrogen power. 23. In the future, science will uncover means to create an unlimited supply of food. The reason we cannot do so now is because the costs are very high. The cost of fuel is so high. However, when hydrogen power is developed, we will have an unlimited supply of energy. We have an overabundance of energy, then we can make much food as we want, so much that we will not know what to do with it all. Since it will be boring for us to eat all that food alone, we will approach people on the street and say, "Come and share some of this food with me and let's talk for a while." We don't know when the time will come, but I'm saying we should start preparing now. We need to create those circumstances so that our descendants will be able to live comfortably. 24. when you look at the ocean, it appears very monotonous. There is nothing to see but the horizon. But in reality, it is extremely complex. Moreover, its resources are far more abundant than those on land. In fact, the ocean is a place of unlimited resources or unlimited treasures. All the precious things that people like can be found locked away in the ocean. So, what do you think is necessary to tap the ocean? Think about how America was developed and how many people undertook all kinds of adventures to find and mine precious minerals in the American West. At the time, adventurers and fearless, courageous men were given rights of ownership. Similarly, unless you undertake many adventures and challenges your limits, you cannot become the owner of a treasure. Up to this point, people have fought to gain control of the routes on which ships travel across the oceans, but they have not valued ownership of the resources that actually exist in the sea. 25. Who will be the owner of these oceans in the future? If a great cataclysm were to occur, land could rise up from the middle of the ocean while dry land could sink into the sea. If a landmass greater than that of the United States appeared in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, who would be its owner? No one can say this kind of thing is impossible. Nobody knows when such a thing could happen. There are also volcanoes at the bottom of the sea. Until now, it would have been no problem to say everything outside 200 nautical miles from any coast belongs to me. No such person appeared. The day will come when people will fight over the ocean. At the time, the people who want to be owners of the ocean will need a dauntless pioneer spirit. There is no other way to become the owner of the ocean. 26. The future leaders of the world will be those who can protect and preserve the oceans. The time is coming when humankind will invest and devote all its power, culture, traditions, and national resources into developing the riches and treasures that lie at the bottom of the sea. However, the key point is who will be in the position to command the oceans and pursue that development. When I am faced with this problem, I ask myself, as the founder of the Unification Church and true parent responsible for human history, what base of operation am I going to live for the future of the church? That base is located at the seaside. For the future, the fishery industry and aquatic industry in the oceans have unlimited potential. 27. The North Pole has no more than 800 meters deep. There is fresh water that accumulated thousands of years ago. It is not polluted but clean, even after 10,000 years. It is similar at the South Pole. If we were to build a cultural city like New York City below the ice, do you think many people will come to see it or not? This could actually be done. Just thinking about it is exciting. If you build a tunnel through the ice, it could last for tens of thousands of years. It would not collapse. By spraying cold water on the inside surface once a year, the ice could stay frozen and remain solid. 28. The time has come when we can farm under the ice. We can even get flowers to bloom there. If you go to Alaska, The tall mountains are covered with glaciers, and grass grows in the central regions. South of there, flowers bloom and people go fishing. You have no idea what a beautiful and enchanted land it is. It is lovely with clean water and clean air, a perfect ecological balanced environment. If you ever visit Alaska on vacation and enjoy it, you will want to live there and never leave. Because it is such a place, I am exerting myself and investing in all these projects. 29. Young people should develop an interest in the ocean. The reason I go out to the sea and stay there for 24 hours at a time is to establish a tradition of having loved the ocean. People who work as seamen and go to sea usually come back 6 months to a year later. Because of this, most women don't want to marry them. For this reason, the global trend has been toward a reduction of number of mariners. Therefore, we should become strong in the ocean businesses. And in the future, we should become a leading force in the marine industry. The time will come when we will concentrate our efforts on the ocean more than on land. Please understand my purpose is taking an interest in the ocean and why you should also take an interest in the ocean. Subtopic: the oceans and the task of feeding all of humankind. Number 30. The sea is a world treasure containing 2/3 of the world market of raw materials. This is critical from the viewpoint of carrying out God's restoration providence based on His will. Do you think there are deposits of diamonds in oceans or not? I estimate there are twice as many diamonds in the ocean as in land. Furthermore, in the sea we also find seaweed and fish, and these can be used as food. The area of the ocean floor covered by seaweed is vast. The supply of fish in the sea is almost limitless. Would a person who thinks of such things not develop an interest in them? Anyone who thinks about these things would be more interested in the ocean than the land. 31. The resources we can get from dry land are limited, but those that come from the sea are unlimited. One fish can lay several million eggs. Considering this, the resources of the sea are unlimited. If these eggs were hatched artificially, it would be possible to hatch nearly 100% of them. By correctly adjusting the feeding process and providing other raw materials, it is possible to harvest unlimited resources from the sea. The ocean is unique in this, and that is why I'm thinking about matters of the sea. In the future, whole families can live under the ocean. We have to think about homes beneath the ocean's surface. We can also set up aquatic businesses in the ocean. In this way, we can develop unlimited resources to expand them. 32. The only way to resolve humanity's food shortage is to farm fish. In the future, there will be buildings by the sea with hundreds of floors. With the press of a button, everyone will be able to farm fish. If you own just 100 pyong, 0.8 acre, your household will be able to generate enough income for all your children to go to college. And you can live comfortably. Science is advancing swiftly during our lifetime. It will allow us to draw in seawater that is tens hundreds or even thousands of miles away. We can build fish farming structures in the mountains, as many as we need. Without doing so, humanity's food shortage cannot be resolved. That is why I am so serious about this. 33. Salmon live in the ocean, but they swim up to fresh water to breed. We need to build fish farms that will somehow allow some species of freshwater fish to live in salt water and some species of saltwater fish in fresh water. Do you know why? We cannot catch and eliminate parasites one by one. So to protect the fish, why not move those saltwater fish to fresh water?